Natalie from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for May 2022. So on May 2nd, we have Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and pleasure and worth and money, moving out of Piscean energy and into Aries. So let's break this down for just a sec. Pisces energy is the ending sign of the zodiac. And you may recall, if you've been listening to the forecasts, that the last week of April, we had a stellium, multiple planets in Piscean energy, giving us actual stronger vibes than Pisces season did. We had the moon, we had Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, all in this Piscean energy. For many of us, it was very heavy, very weighted, very depressing. And although it gave us some very magical energies to level up, to manifest, to really grow, many of us were on that lower vibrational scale. We talked about some of the man-made energies being poured into the universe at that time. If you haven't listened to the ascension forecast for the first week of May, I'm going to recommend you do that. We dive into some very interesting theories about what's going on here and why many of us light workers were rendered useless under this Piscean energy. Nonetheless, Venus was in Pisces, and although she's exalted in Pisces, although she has a certain strength in Piscean energy because it promotes us dreaming and tapping into our creativity, it shows us where it is that we have to create a new vision for our relationships, for our money matters. It shows us where it is that we had a lot of issues that we had to resolve, especially in our self-worth, our self-confidence. This Piscean energy, although very magical, very healing, carries a dark tone with it. It was the unconscious part of not only the collective, but of our own individual mind space, soul space. So what should have been a very high vibrational, very inspired, highly intuitive time, especially where love and relationships and money were concerned, many of us dabbled in the not so nice energy of that Piscean energy, which of course is closures, endings, pain, trauma, suffering, recognizing why we had to go through what it is that we've gone through in order to land us at this particular point. So the good news is that we're moving out of that emotional, highly intuitive, highly psychic waters. And I say it's a good thing because it's been very overwhelming to the point where many of us have just wanted to curl up into a ball and stay in bed all day and numb. Now we're moving into Aries. Aries energy is the very first sign of the zodiac. It is a fire energy. So this means that we get a spark back. We get a passion back. We get new desires, new things that excite us. We want to jump into new experiences. And so Venus, who is always kind of focused on the love aspect, first of all, self-love, second of all, relationship love, worth and money and values, again, self-worth, self-value, and then the money matters, we're definitely going to feel a positive shift. But here's the thing, there's pros and cons to all the different energies, so we have to be very consciously aware of what is going on. Now, Venus, we're still in the new moon in Taurus, solar eclipse energy that Venus ruled over. She's still in her power, ruling over Taurus season, over this new moon. We can rewind 2 weeks ago. She was the ruler of the full moon in Libra that illuminated where it is that we're lacking love and peace and balance and stability and harmony in our lives, especially in our relationships. And now Venus has had enough. She has realized in her time in Pisces that, you know what, we have to take control here. Venus is the goddess of being able to give birth, create new elements in our lives that are going to bring us love, peace, joy, harmony, pleasure. She's very rooted in the physical body, here in this physical realm. She wants us to do what we can in the run of our daily lives, regardless of the circumstances, in order to create an energy of love, peace, harmony, pleasure, happiness, joy. We have to find joy in the little things in life as we are actively creating and manifesting the new dream, the new vision that we're all being downloaded in order to pursue. So coming into Aries energy, she embodies the Aries energy. This is new beginnings, new initiation, new dreams, new passion, new desires, and in anger, if need be. And sometimes anger and frustration is the catalyst that we need to lean into in order to make the changes that we've been hesitant to make. So this Aries energy, it's spontaneous, right? Firecracker energy. It's very straightforward, very direct, very blunt. In this energy, we are excited for the chase of the new path, the new plan, the new dream, the new goal, the new desire. And we are tired of looking back. This is a time where we just kind of flip the rear view mirror to the other side of the vehicle so that we're not looking back. And some may say that that is not a good strategy because you don't know what is behind you, what is around you. But honestly, we've been sitting in a funk for long enough. I think we've reevaluated, we've sat in it. We're tired of feeling low. We're tired of feeling the endings, the pain and the trauma that come with it. It wouldn't be a bad thing for us to embody cutting the cord from the past, cutting the cord with all that has transpired and just kind of putting our blinders on and focusing on what is new, what is exciting, what is bringing a brand new life, a spark to our lives. And you know what? We're going to muster up the boldness and the bravery in order to make the changes that we know we have to make. And, you know, there's no better energy other than this Aries energy to help us kind of make those moves. Now, granted, coming into May, if you haven't listened to May's energy forecast, I'm going to recommend that you do that because we're coming into retrograde season. We're coming in under eclipse season. We have a lot of energy coming at us in May. May is typically a very chaotic month for good reason because we're under the influence of the divine script playing out. The universe is going to sort us out where we weren't brave enough to sort ourselves out. So the fact that Venus is in this fiery, direct, bold, brave energy of Aries is going to be very interesting to see what it is that we can accomplish in a very short amount of time. Now, granted, we're going to be very low on patience. Aries energy wants to act now and think about the consequences later, wants everything yesterday. And right now, we are just acting on whatever it is that our heart is inspiring us to act upon. We had the time in Piscean energy to dream about it, to imagine it all. Now we're going to take action. Now we're going to actually move forward in some of the paths, some of the plans that we've been contemplating and stewing over. We are not interested in looking back. This is a brand new cycle. This is a brand new day. This is a brand new energy. This is a brand new us. And the fact that this energy is kind of being rooted in at the very beginning of a brand new month, this is very exciting. We want things to happen. We want to make things work. We want to see the changes and we want them now. So this Aries energy is just thriving off of the chase. We want to see that end goal. We want to see that dream. Part of the excitement is the journey to get there. And we have to be cautious because Aries energy comes with the life lesson of energy management. Aries energy, typically speaking, falls short in being able to see things through. We come at new things with an excitement, with a spark. We pour everything that we have into it. We don't have a plan. We don't have a structure. We just go at it willy-nilly. And the downside of this is that we might burn ourselves out long before we actually ever reach that end goal, reach that dream, reach the end of the conquest, so to speak. So we have to keep things light. We have to keep things fresh. We have to keep things exciting. Now, in communication, we have to be very aware that we are going to be a straight shooter. We are going to be very blunt. It's like the universe removes the filter that many of us need. And although this is a good thing, because many of us have been hesitating, especially in this Piscean energy, makes us very passive aggressive, hesitating on speaking out and declaring what it is that we want, need, and desire, and what it is that we are willing and no longer willing to tolerate in our lives. There's no sugarcoating under this Aries energy. We are just going to spit the truth, spit that fire. And we have to understand that other people are going to be doing so as well, which means that we might be on the receiving end of somebody else's truth, of somebody else's fire. And so there is this kind of little dance that we have to do in our inner realm to to understand and respect that we're all doing our own thing. We should all be doing what is best for us. And sometimes what is best for us is not good for other people, and vice versa. So we want to be very cautious that although we might be speaking truth, speaking fire, that it is the truth, and we're not just being mean and being petty. We don't want to dive into that energy. We just want to say it like it is and honor our heart space, honor our truth, do what is necessary in order for us to stand up for ourselves. So the passion that comes with that, again, is there's always a very thin line between passion and anger, and we have to walk that very, very carefully. And we also have to be careful because the new ideas that are being downloaded within us, especially if they're sporadic, we're very passionate. We're overwhelmed with just wanting change and wanting to follow something that makes us feel good and makes us feel alive. There's nothing wrong with that, but we do have to put a little bit of thought into things, especially because we're in retrograde season. We can't continue to repeat the same past patterns and behaviors of the past and expect a different result. And we're in eclipse energy, which means that, we don't have as much control over the divine script right now as we would if all planets were direct, if we weren't in retrograde season, if we weren't in eclipse season. So although spontaneity is at the top of the list, although we are very passionate and very inspired to make change, we do want to use our brains too, people. Like, the heart space needs to lead for sure, but we have to take our brains with us. So this is going to be a very interesting time because, again, Venus is all about bringing joy and happiness and pleasure into our physical realms. And, with this Aries energy being all fired up and passionate, we are ready and geared towards taking action. We want to start new things. We want to, be bold, be courageous, to go after what it is that we want. We're borderline daredevils. So I am going to hesitate to say to you, maybe not all of the good ideas coming in are good ideas. When it comes to relationships, if you're already in a relationship, things could get very fiery because, again, we're both in these relationships. We're both trying to do what is best for us and initiate new boundaries, which of course is going to lead to some friction. But if you're single, now is the time to throw down, to go after what it is that you want. There's a high level of passion, a high level of sexual desire. We're bold, we're brave, we're courageous. We're putting ourselves out there in ways that we wouldn't normally do. And that can pay off in a lot of ways. So when it comes to money, because of course Venus rules over value and worth, not only our own self-worth and self-value, but money matters as well. We might want to be a little bit cautious with our spending. The impulsivity of Aries energy just has us throwing money left, right, and center. If we have it to spend, we're going to be spending it. And especially on new ideas, new passions, anything that's entertaining, that brings fun and a level of playfulness to our lives. Not a bad deal, but we don't want to be broke at the end of this particular transit, right? So I am going to caution you, especially with your spending habits, to be a little bit more diligent on whether or not you should actually throw down some money on a very novel type of experience. Because again, this Aries energy, we want to have fun. We are inspired, but it is very, very short-lived, and we don't want to create a mess for ourselves, some drama for ourselves that we don't need. So we want to be very, very cautious about the pros and the cons as we move through this transit. And let me just tell you, Venus is about to step into her place of power in Taurus on the 28th, once she kind of gets her little Aries cycle and fit over with. So the fact that she's on the move twice in this month is a very powerful sign that we are heart inspired, heart motivated, really following new passions, new desires. But once she takes her throne and she moves into Taurus energy, the energy is going to slow down. That Taurus energy is an earth energy. We have to kind of slow down, slow and steady the pace down. So whatever it is that we're initiating while Venus is in Aries, once we move into Taurus energy for her, then we get to kind of stabilize. We get to work with what it is that we've initiated. We get to build upon that. We get to create a foundation, a routine out of it. We get to stabilize it and actually do the work that we need to do after the initiation process to make some of these things, these elements, these new topics and themes that we would have initiated while she's in Aries energy. We want to bring them to life. We want to make sure that they're strong enough to kind of stand the test of time. And we want to make sure that they're going to be around for the long term. So just kind of keep in mind the long-term energy cycle that Venus is now moving in. Yes, she's starting fresh, brand new cycle for her moving into Aries energy. We get to really kind of, go after what it is that we want. And then towards the end of this month, when we shift into Tauran energy, we slow things down. We really get to focus on the elements that excite us, that we did initiate, that are part of our physical realms. And then we get to build upon that foundation to make sure that, like I said, the things that we are currently pouring into are going to be strong enough to house the dreams that we are now building upon these foundations that we're currently building.